Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 31st. You have this donkey card. It says patience, humility, and sacrifice. You have the starfish. It says cosmic energy, mystical awareness, and regeneration. It's a great time for regeneration because of, we're getting to the end of the retrogrades this week. And, it's a great time to kind of like recharge those batteries and get ready for next week. When we will be ending the Venus retrograde on the 7th, and then I think on the 12th or whatever day it is, we're ending the Mercury retrograde. So it's a great time to kind of get ready to, start taking off, right? After a retrograde, we can really kind of like, strap a rocket to our ass and blast off towards whatever it is that we're trying to manifest or create. And, I would definitely take the time to do that, to prepare, to take action, or to get moving. I think that would be great. The donkey card says patience on it. I feel you have been very patient. I feel like everybody has, really. We've had nonstop retrograde since November. And, yeah, we just haven't had a break from that retrograde energy, right? You have the Page of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Nine of Cups. The Page of Pentacles is I kind of feel like this is news coming in for you for some reason. Most people consider the Knights in the tarot to be the messengers, but I also consider the Page of Pentacles to be a messenger, or, could be just a message that you're receiving. And it looks pretty good because we go down to the Six of Wands and then to the Hierophant as well. I kind of feel for some of you this could be attention. So if you've been trying to stand out or, trying to get attention, I feel this would be good for you. You also have the Empress. The Empress is giving me a little bit of a glow-up vibe. Again, I don't consider a reading to be a glow-up reading unless we get the Sun and the Star and the Empress, like all three in the reading, right? To me, that's like a true glow-up type vibe. But you could be getting, you could be preparing to glow up. You could be, maybe you've been making improvements on yourself, and, you could be getting a little recognition this week with the Six of Wands. It doesn't feel like a big thing to me, but, I think it's like a little thing that maybe motivates you to keep going so that you can have a glow up. And, we do have the starfish, so kind of the star, right? You have the Devil. 100% I would be careful of a devil in your life. You have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords here. So if you have anyone who like stabbed you in the back or, did anything like weird, it could be a past person. It doesn't have to be love though. And kind of like the story that I have popping into my head is that it's like a person you haven't heard from in a while, and they are coming in and wanting you to do something for them. That's like how the story is popping into my head. And I think you have two choices here. You could either say no, or you could also ignore them. And that's kind of what I would do. I don't know. I just feel like this is a person who has their hand out, right? It's like they're looking for something, or they need you to do something for them, or whatever. And I think you have a third option as well. The third option is you could charge a bunch of money for it, whatever it is. So you could be like, sure, but I need $1,000, right? Or more. And so, especially if this is like business related, if this is like someone in business who like all of a sudden like reappears in your life, like I'm not saying this person was ever really toxic, but, maybe they're just the type of person who just uses people. I would be like, yeah, sure, $10,000, right? So again, I just get a need to be careful of any past devils. Like, I don't think this reading is bad, but I do feel like this is a person who would not hesitate to stab you in the back. I'm getting more of like a user energy on that Ten of Swords, which getting used is kind of like stabbing someone in the back, so it kind of makes sense. But and you also have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords to me is saying like ulterior motives, like, as in like this person is doing something to be sneaky. They have other reasons for asking you to do something. They're not being direct. So again, I would be careful of that. And the other thing is again, I believe intuitively we feel this when we have a person who does this to us. So, trust your intuition here. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is, of course, about fulfillment. I would protect your peace with the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups, we have to bathe in the energy of what we want. We have to be the thing that we want to be. And so, if we don't trust our gut and we allow someone to take advantage of us, then the energy we're bathing in is that we can be taken advantage of, right? So I would definitely I think this reading is giving you permission to sit on your high horse, right? He is sitting on his high horse here, and he is getting recognition because of it, but he's earned it. He's earned his right to sit on his high horse. And that is the attitude I would have if I were you this week, Gemini. Like, you know, that you are the you know what, and that nothing can stop you, and you don't need to, you know, be playing around with these devils, right? With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. Could be a new love offer as well. And that's the other problem. You know, during retrogrades, if we get a new love offer, it's like an ex can smell it. So, you know, if you are getting a new love offer, I would be careful. I also feel this is encouraging you to stay in the flow. And I think this is just like a unwritten rule of life. It's like sometimes we get into the flow, and that's when these little shitbirds pop up in our lives, like the devil, and, you know, just to cause problems, to knock us off our square. It's almost like they can sense it when things are going well. And I feel this is saying, ignore it. With the devil, I told you, three of Pentacles. Teamwork, this is a person who wants you to do something for them. I literally said that. So, you know, again, here's the thing about the Three of Pentacles, is that you need to be number one. You know, right here. He is the one that has done the work. These people are coming in a support position. I've definitely said this to you recently as well, Gemini. Like, if you're doing any work for anyone else, you need to be the one that gets all the credit. So, you know, I would definitely, you know, think about that. The other thing is again, the message that popped into my head is like, this is a person who like wants you to do some work for them, or wants you to, you know, whatever, do something for them. And I would be careful. It's just popping into my head. It's like, I feel like this is a person who like comes out of nowhere. It's like, maybe this is a person you worked with on a business or in work like years ago, and all of a sudden they're popping back up. You know, it's like a weird story, but it is what it is. There you go. With the Nine of Cups, you have the King of Wands. Yeah, King of Wands about being brave, being bold, being confident. So again, if this is the situation you're dealing with this week, you know, maybe having the confidence to stick up for yourself. And again, you don't have to be a jerk or anything. You can just say no, right? And, you know, about having the confidence to do that is important. I don't really feel that, like, the universe tests us, but kind of. You know, it's like sometimes I think it is a test where it's like the universe will make something like this happen to say, you know, is Gemini really in this confident energy, or are they willing to slip back into, you know, being less confident and not standing up for themselves? So, you know, again, I don't really feel it's a test, but, you know, pass the test at the same time. Make sure that you are sticking up for yourself this week. And, you know, that's it. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Daydream card. It says, having your head in the clouds can be a source of great inspiration, but be careful when your fantasies become an escape from reality. Yes. You have this Artist card. It says, a true artist lives their art. Let your life be your canvas, and you will create your greatest masterpiece. Yes, definitely. I think we all have this danger of getting stuck in the daydream right now. We have Neptune in Pisces, and yeah, it's moving into Aries, but, you know, it will retrograde back into Pisces this year. Neptune in Pisces, the fantasy is more attractive than the reality, and it's like we can easily just fantasize about something. And it's also worse during Neptune in Pisces, because Neptune in Pisces makes us feel like we've done it. So it's like, if there's something you want to do, if you live it too much in your head, then your brain is like, oh, I've already done this, and then you're not going to do it. So I would definitely make sure you're taking action on the things that you want to take action on. You have the Seven of Swords again. I'm not really getting lying, cheating, stealing. I'm getting more motives. Like I said earlier, it's almost like someone has like another reason that they are coming to you, or, you know, they have like hidden motives for why they're, you know, talking to you all of a sudden or whatever. So I would be careful of that. You know, on the bright side, because the Seven of Swords is a good card, golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. He is sneaking away from this army in the background, and he's stealing their swords so that they can't go to war with him. And so he's preventing them from being able to go to war. So he's going to war, but in a different way. Seven of Swords is all about doing things in a different way. And right here, we have the Hangman. The Hangman is about looking at things from a different perspective. So with the Hangman, we have to see if there is a better way to work on whatever we're working on. And so anything that you're trying to be successful at, I would say with the Hangman and the Seven of Swords, like, you're a Gemini. It is your superpower. I said this to you recently, that your superpower is seeing other ways of doing things. And I would tap into your superpower at this time. Like, your past two readings have been about this. You have the Six of Wands. Yeah, time to soak up the attention is what I would say. It's like, and, you know, here's the other thing as well, is if you are holding yourself back and you have a skill that you're not putting on display, I feel like the Six of Wands to the Five of Cups is saying, like, it's time for you to stand out, you know. And remember what I said at the beginning of the reading. It's almost like, you are preparing for a glow up. It's almost like if we pretend that this person isn't going on here, which could be, part of the story. It's almost like the universe is saying it's time for you to get attention on something. It could be like a skill, could be your business, could be your career, could be just you trying to get attention. And the Six of Wands is saying you have to do it. The Five of Cups is like thinking of all the reasons why you can't. And so, it really, I think it's time to get started, or it's time to start, kind of being more bold with the King of Wands that's showing up here as well. So I think all of that would be good for you. Like making bigger moves, making bolder moves, in business and career, in your love life, whatever. You have the Ten of Swords. I think this is dead, whatever the situation with this person is, if it is a person. The Ten of Swords says something is dead, done, over with. Really, you could be seeing how this is a blessing as well. Ten of Swords represents a blessing in disguise. He is making the same symbol right here that the Hierophant is making right next to him. Right here, he's making the symbol, which represents a blessing. So, it could be you could be seeing how it's a blessing that you have moved away from a person. Again, this could be a person in business. I don't even, for some of you, it just seems like this person wants you to do work, or, wants you to help them in some way. And, the Ten of Swords is kind of like a reminder that it's like a good thing that this ended. You can't make this up. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords. So there you go. Yeah, this needs to be put to rest. This needs to be moved on from and let go of so that you can move forward and be successful. And that's exactly what I would do with the Ten of Swords. With the Six of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, change in direction. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Don't be afraid if you're like experimenting with an idea. Like, let's say you have a career or business and you're experimenting with new ways of doing things. The Seven of Pentacles can take us in a completely different direction, but sometimes it is the direction we need to move in. And so I feel the Seven of Pentacles with the Six of Wands is saying, don't be afraid of like exploring new directions. Don't be afraid of trying to grow in other areas of your life. He has gotten all he can from these Seven Pentacles. He's thinking, do I keep moving in this direction, or, do I go try and grow something else? Do I go try and grow something different? And it could be time for you to grow something different. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. Other people, teamwork. The thing about the Three of Cups is that these are people you can really celebrate with. I feel like I've been saying to you for weeks now, Gemini, that it seems to me your readings are really encouraging you to focus on those concentrated connections. Those people who really lift you up, and to not worry about the people who, drag you down, or the people who don't value you, or, the people who don't support your vision. Remember, your vision needs to be number one. Three of Pentacles. You need to be the one that is being pushed up, right, by other people. So that kind of makes sense to me with the Three of Cups. And, sometimes with the Three of Cups, and like a card like the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, like we could be shrinking our friend group, or just people in general in our lives, but it could be a good thing, because again, we could be more focusing on those concentrated connections. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card. It says, you are never alone. There you go. You have this dragonfly. It says, truth transcends illusion. That's the other thing as well, is that, this could be a person who's trying to sell you a bridge, right? A person who's trying to sell you on some sort of illusion or fantasy or something that isn't even a reality. And I feel like that this person is delusional as well. Like, if you really think about it, it's like sometimes people have a vision, but it's just like their actions don't match with the vision. And that's what I would be paying attention to. It's one thing if a person wants to work with you and they have this big vision, but they have a solid plan on how to get there. It's another thing to, start working with a person who has a vision, but it's like they aren't really clear on how they're going to get there. And again, that's something I would be careful of with this energy. I feel the dragonfly saying, get to the truth. Dragonflies, if you've ever looked through dragonflies' wings, they're like shimmery, they're iridescent, right? So they kind of represent like rose-colored glasses, or looking through something that is kind of like a little bit more dreamy than it is reality. And that's what I would be careful of in this reading. You have the Five of Cups, the Hangman, and the Hierophant. The Five of Cups can represent regrets or sadness. He is sad that he no longer enjoys his taste for wine. He's lost his taste for wine. but he needs to be grateful for what he has here. Again, even if someone were to offer him wine, he wouldn't accept it because he doesn't like it anymore. So he is sad because he doesn't have something that he once enjoyed. But really, it's a card of gratitude. Once he turns around and sees those 2 cups behind him, he gets the bridge in the castle. So I think it would be a great time to look at everything you do have right now. Probably your most important card here. I think this was in your last reading that I just did as well for April. And so Hangman energy is probably going to be very important for you. Makes sense. You're a Gemini. Hangman represents Pisces, but it is a very Gemini card, in some ways, because the Hangman, he's good at looking at things from different points of view. And again, this is your superpower, which I've said in like the last 2 or 3 readings at least, that it seems to me like it's time for you to like really develop your superpower. Again, kind of makes sense because you have Jupiter in your sign, so you are expanding. And like you have unique perspectives on things, but it's like unless you share those perspectives, like I think you're not going to realize how unique your perspectives are, right? I always say that it's kind of like one of those things. It's like never the most like mind-blowing, amazing stuff that I share, like on this channel, on my other channels, that gets attention, right? It's always like the things that I think are like so simple and basic that really take off. And that's like popping into my head with this Hangman, is that like if you're thinking about sharing your information or like starting a business or starting a YouTube channel or anything like that, don't discount what you have to share. I think that you have a lot to share right now. And even with other people, it could just be sharing yourself with the Empress showing up here. Like maybe you're looking for a relationship and you could be, it's almost like you're undervaluing yourself with this reading a little bit. And I feel like it's saying you need to like prove to yourself your own value. I mean, that's the only thing we have, the only person we have anything to prove to is ourselves, really. And so maybe that's what this reading is talking about, is that you need to prove things to yourself, right? You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents blessings, and again, I think that excuse me, in a lot of ways, you could be getting blessings from the universe at this time, because again, he is blessing these 2 people in front of him. The other thing is, the Hierophant is the connection between heaven and earth. He communicates with both sides. And so you could be getting a lot of like intuitive insights at this time, and I would really be paying attention to the intuitive insights that you are receiving. With the 5 of Cups, you have 2 cards. You have the Moon and the 4 of Swords. The Moon represents a lack of clarity. The Moon can say that you're on a journey and you're not sure if you're ever going to get to the end, but you are. The Moon is also an illusion or a fantasy. Can represent secrets. I would really be careful of anyone who has like hidden intentions or hidden motives. Again, I think this is a good reading, but I just think there's like a devil that could mess it up, right? So I would be careful. And I think there's nothing to worry about, Gemini, because this is going to be very obvious. To me, the message I got at the beginning is this is a person who you haven't heard from in a while. So, if you have a person in your life who pops back up into your life, that is the person I'm talking about in this reading. That is the person you should ignore or avoid or whatever. Obviously, if it's a good person that pops back up into your life, different story. I think this person very clearly, it's like, I don't know that this person took advantage of you, but kind of, so I think it'll be very clear. 4 of Swords says, can you sleep on it? And that's the other thing here, is that there's a little bit of this pushy energy here, right? And so I always tell people, like, if you're let's say you're entering into something like a contract with a person or whatever, I always say that if someone tries to push me into something, it's an automatic no, right? Like if I need to think about something and a person says, no, you have to make this decision right now, no, is the choice, right? And so if someone's trying to push you into something, that might be your answer, right? With the Hangman, you have the Temperance card. I say this to you all the time, mixing 2 things together. Temperance is about alchemy. Definitely your superpower. Taking 2 unrelated ideas and putting them together could be a little bit of genius for you, Gemini. So the Temperance card is about, turning a negative into a positive into a negative. But I think a lot of you could really be like mixing skills or, mixing together things that you learned for future success. With the Hierophant, you have the 6 of Wands. Yes, a lot of attention. This is like the direction that I would focus in right here, is you doing something that gets you attention, that makes you stand out, that leads to a victory, or you working on your glow up, right? If you're working on improving your life in some way, that's the only thing I would focus on based off this reading. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Hand of Fate card. It says, everything is happening for a reason except the things to which fate binds you. You have this Toxic Triggers card. It says, find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences in your life. Like, are you kidding? That is the entire reading, right? So for some of you, maybe this toxic influence is still in your life, although I doubt it. I really see this as a person who's popping back up. It could also just be an influence. It could be something toxic, a toxic behavior or something else that's kind of like popping back up. It's coming up in the good stuff, so I do feel that you will probably avoid it and be successful in avoiding it as well. You have the Five of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Empress. Five of Wands is conflict and competition. In the area of the good stuff, the Five of Wands represents standing out above the competition. So I do feel a lot of you could be kind of getting, like, standing out and getting a lot of, standing out above the competition, getting a lot of attention above the competition. And that's what I would do here with the Five of Wands. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands can represent marriage, of course. Really, we don't see a lot of love in this reading. As I always say, that doesn't mean that love can't be coming in for you right now. But I think that the Four of Wands is saying that you are committing to your freedom. Four of Wands is a card of freedom. It is the card of freedom in the tarot. And so a lot of you could be setting yourself free. It's a card of completion. If you read a lot of the old tarot books, they say that the Four of Wands comes up when you are like completing one stage of your journey and you're like moving on to the next stage. Or it could be that you're wrapping up a project or something else and you're kind of going to the next stage. So I feel for a lot of you, this is like, you committing to your freedom. Or even better than that, you are committing to yourself with the Empress. It doesn't matter what gender you are either. I feel like the Empress could be saying that you're just committing to yourself and making your life the best you possibly can. You could be committing to trying to have a glow up as well. So and again, by glow up, I just mean improvement. You're just trying to improve your life. Again, Empress makes a lot of sense with Jupiter in your sign because Jupiter in your sign makes you want to expand, makes you want to make your life better and all that other good stuff. So, I would be, that's exactly what I would be doing there with that Empress energy for sure. So let's see. With the Five of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Again, probably good in this reading because it would say that you're cutting something out or you're removing yourself from a situation. Five of Swords can represent loss or winning at all cost. But in the good stuff, it can say that you are kind of walking away from something the winner or you're walking away from something victorious. With the Four of Wands, damn, you have all these fives here. 3 fives. We actually have 4 fives right here, but 3 fives is like a number of change. And these 3 fives are coming up in the good stuff, so they're going to be good no matter what. So you could definitely be coming out of the cold. The Five of Pentacles represents focusing on your strengths in the good stuff, so which is also good. It could say that you're like doubling down on your strengths and good things. You cannot look at this. With the Empress, you have the Devil. Again, also could be good because it could say that you are overcoming something that is toxic, which is helping you to improve your life or to kind of like have a little bit of a glow up or something like that. So pretty interesting how this reading's laid out. You have this horse card. It says short journey on it. What's popping into my head here is that if you get an opportunity to go on an adventure, I would definitely take that opportunity. This could be an opportunity to go on a day trip or spend time with family or whatever, and I would definitely do it. You have this beetle card. It says good fortune on it. Yeah, it should be a pretty fortunate time. You're obviously going to have to work for it. Things aren't going to magically happen in your life, but if you take advantage of working on your glow up or getting attention, definitely could be good fortunes. You have this September card, and I always clarify these monthly cards. You have this horseshoe card. It says good luck on it. Yeah, between, our next set of eclipses is September, basically. So, we have an eclipse on the 29th in Aries. Then between now and September, we're working on whatever we learned, and there could be a lot of good luck in these, between these eclipses that is happening for you. So I would take advantage of it. You have this eagle card. It says triumph over an obstacle. Really tells me that you're probably conquering the devil here in your reading, or you're overcoming something toxic, or you have learned a toxic lesson. So again, I think this is a good thing. You have this coins card. It says money will be coming to you. Love it. We end with the Empress, which is definitely abundance. So there you go, Gemini. Actually, not a bad reading. Again, maybe you have to tell a person off here or whatever, but I don't think that's a big deal. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.